So here is the truth about Commodore computers and Atari computers. So if you're going to get a retro 8-bit computer, you can't go wrong with getting a Commodore 64 or an Atari 800XL. I would suggest, now you can get a regular bread bin 64. I've got a couple, but they're put up over there, buried under a bunch of retro stuff, so I can't get to them. But so either this design or the old bread bin, you can't go wrong. They're fairly reliable and would probably work, even though you'll have to get a new power supply for them. That's the only bad part about that, is you will have to get a modern day power supply, because the power supplies are notorious for destroying the computers. But they're worth it. Get either, this is the new style case, while I'm showing it, while I'm using it, I'm doing a different video about something else, but with this machine, because it was handy at the time. But so you can't go wrong with a Commodore 64. You could also consider a Commodore 128, and I've got one up there, but it's buried under stuff. I'm not going to pull it out, but don't, okay? I mean, unless you want to experiment, because Commodore 128s, they can have problems. They weren't built as good as the 64s. They're not. They're more prone to have problems. It's just, that's what I've found. Okay, so if you're going to get a Commodore 64, you can get one of these, and the 60. It's called the I think the Commodore 64C or something. I don't remember. But this style, it's a beautiful, beautiful machine. All right, styled like after the Commodore 128. Or get an old bread bin. Can't really go wrong. It's, just get a new power supply and you'll be fine. Now, or you get an Atari, and I would suggest you'd probably be happier with an Atari 800XL because it's already got 64K of memory. It's got a monitor output on it, and of course this is just my opinion, but I mean, I prefer the Atari computers over the Commodores, even though I like both. Of course, I got them both. So, but I like I lean more towards the Atari 8-bit computers, not the XE computers. I'm not a fan. I love Jack Tramiel. I had an Atari ST back in '85. Saved up my money, bought an Atari 520 ST FM because I was like a couple $100 short from buying like an Amiga 1000, and I wanted a 16-bit computer, and the Atari ST had a monochrome monitor and everything with it. It had a built-in disk drive, so it's like, okay. So I mean, I love Jack Tramiel. He's one of my heroes from the 80s. Love Jack Tramiel and his family. I thought they did a wonderful job. But I'm not a fan of the XE Atari 8-bit computers. I'm just not. But so I would suggest getting just an old Atari 800XL, or 64. I think that the Atari 8-bits had better bitmap graphics, but the 64 had better sprites. It's just, seriously, it just, 8 fully independent sprites on the 64, and the 8-bit Ataris had 4 sprites and 4-player missiles or something like that, or missiles. their sprites were not as good as the 64s. That's a fact. Uh, as far as sound goes, some people say that the SID chip on the 64 is better than the Pokey on the Ataris. I don't know. I don't know about that. The SID chip, yeah, maybe it was a little bit more advanced, but remember this stuff, the stuff in here was made in, it came out in 79, where the 64 originally came out in what, 82 or 83? So, but as far as sound goes, to me, it's either or. Bitmap graphics, color bitmap graphics. I think the Atari had better bitmap graphics, but the 64 had better sprites. What do you think? You know, leave a comment. Let me know. So, with either machine, you can't go wrong. I mean, there's thousands of games and other software for each of these machines. I mean, you can't go wrong. And again, if you're going to get an Atari, I would suggest an 800XL, you know, because you don't have to expand it, and it's got the monitor output, like I said. So that's my rant about the Commodore 64 and the Atari 8-bit computers. That's the truth about them. If you disagree, let me know. But these are the retro machines. If you're aiming to get one of these, specifically 800XL or Breadband 64 or the 64C style case, which both design. This looks better than the Breadband, I think, but the Breadband still looks pretty good, you know, and the keyboard's good. This has a mechanical keyboard on this 800XL. More than likely, if you get one, you'll probably get one with a membrane, not the membrane, but it's got like a membrane sheet underneath the keys. Those keyboards aren't as good, so you can tell by looking inside. Here you'll see like the circuit board's brown underneath the keyboard. That's how you can tell it's got a mechanical keyboard on it, without taking it apart, of course. But these machines just look really good too, you know. Both machines, beautiful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Talk to you later.